Africa is stealing. Why Africa is stealing?
You see, because as Africa, we don't encourage each other to work hard. We encourage each other to steal.
Do if they are too greedy and
Because of the weak of the laws which are there. All the laws in Africa, they are weak. They cannot follow you door to door. It will follow you 3 4 days.
As Africans, one, we don't love ourselves.
Mr. France, Africa is stealing. Africa become, or we become a nation of thieves. Africa is losing 66 trillions in stealing alone. The cabinet minister is stealing. As we say, the prime secretary is stealing. And you can go in the villages, even headmen are stealing. Our police officers, directors, principals, teachers. Africa is stealing. Why? Why Africa is stealing?
Mostly people steal because our corrupt leaders in Africa, we are mostly ruled by corrupt leaders, and that's where the stealing is coming from. And these people are stealing for self-enrichment. They just want to become richer and richer, and every leader wants to be on top of the chart. No one wants to be poor, or so he always would want to be number one. That's why they are stealing for more wealth, and they are just busy exploiting the poor to become
Yes,
wealthy.
we got people in the villages who, people, African are even starting stealing live animals. A sheep, a goat, a cattle, live animals. They are chasing, foreign, stealing animals, live animals. These are not ministers, not even directors, not principals. A villager who is a villager is stealing. Is this thing in the blood, or our ancestors were stealing, or why? Why is it?
This can be brought up by lack of money, financial problems, right? Because people in villages, there's no jobs. People cannot make money to afford to buy meat and so on, things to eat. So for them to obtain those things, they just have to get them through stealing.
Now, what message do you have to the thieves who are rooting Africa?
The thieves,
Yes.
for them to stop stealing, create jobs, and make clean money and not dirty money.
So, what you are saying, the pastor who are stealing congregations, pastor who are stealing communities, teachers who are stealing school books must create jobs. Is that your view?
I never heard of a teacher that stole a book.
Africa is stealing.
Okay?
Africa is regarded as a place of thieves.
Okay?
A cabinet minister is stealing, a prime secretary is stealing, and even a head of state, a president himself is
He's
stealing.
stealing as well.
And then our kids are stealing pen at school.
Yes.
Why? Why Africa is stealing?
Okay. It goes like, to me, I don't know how others will understand it, but in my view, I'll start by saying, as Africans, one, we don't love ourselves. You get my point? We don't love ourselves. We don't regard ourselves as brothers and sisters. That's one. That's point one. That's why you find someone is given a good position. Instead of defending his brothers or sisters, is going against them. In short, he's stealing from them. Because I come from a country whereby, or African countries whereby, leaders are stealing from us poor people. You imagine a country. I'll start by policies. They are like we us. I'm a truck driver. You find that we are working on the company, but leaders are failing to give us or to guide us with good policies to give to those investors who are coming into our countries. Instead, they are like giving them us to those people who are leading us on a cheap labor for them to benefit.
Tell me, our ancestors were not thieves.
But
why is us stealing? Now Africa even start stealing live animals. a sheep, a goat, a cat. Stealing. Sometimes our school kids are living in a donated school while
Okay.
money are stolen. Why?
That's what I'm
Do you
saying.
think?
Is we are lacking self-love of loving ourselves. We need to come. We need to come with this thing of saying, when I see an African man, brother or brother, sister passing, I see myself. Because if I was a minister today, I see a truck driver suffering in his ways, I'll come to and hide it to say, why are these drivers suffering like this? What's happening to these people? It's because I love them the way I love myself. So as Africans, we need, I'm emphasizing on this, we need to work on loving ourselves before anyone else can think about good things about us. Because you as my brother, if I don't do good to you, how do someone who is coming from far come and do good things for you? It won't work out, my brother. So love, we need to love ourselves, work together. Let's form things which will work together. The most thing, the mandatory one, is to work together and love each other as brothers and sisters in Africa. Because even if we say today we put in an election, we put this leader, he comes, he steals, he goes, another comes, he steals, goes. Because they don't have love for other poor African people, brothers, sisters, children.
Okay,
Oh.
Mr. Good morning.
Yes, good morning,
Yeah,
Mr.
tell
Saddam.
me, give me your views. Africa is stealing.
Yes.
African people are regarded as thieves. A cabinet minister is stealing. A permanent secretary is stealing. A president himself is also stealing. Go in school, you find that a principal is stealing, a kid is stealing pen. People are even stealing live animals. Tell me your view. Why Africa is stealing? Why?
Mostly, I think when it comes to our leaders, it's got to do with they are too greedy, and most of them, I think, they are selfish. They only want to be the ones that are well off, and then they are not really looking out to their people. I mean, they are supposed to be our leaders, and they're actually supposed to be how can I put it? Actually, they are supposed to be taking care of us, but then they're only taking care of themselves. Like they are looting the
By the way, those are
nation's
leaders you are talking about.
resources. Okay, no, we are still getting there. They are looting the country's resources for their own good, and then so that they can be well off. When it comes to the community and stuff, I think it's got to do with poverty and a high unemployment rate. Most people, the blacks, we are most usually we are poor. We are not really doing so well financially, and so we try to go into theft and then maybe try to steal so we can at least meet our necessary needs, like our daily basic needs and stuff like that. So yeah, it's mostly
We have
poverty
countries that
and
are poor. Country like
yes.
Guatemala, country like Vietnam's, but they are not stealing. In Africa, even live animals, sheep, goats, cattle, stealing a live animals and run away with. Why? Africa is
Yes,
stealing.
it's let me say most it's just opportunists. Most people are opportunists, so they see a way of making quick bucks and money. So they see it as easy money. So instead of having to go and struggle for a job, I would just go and steal, whether it is poaching or loot government resources. So at least then I can take care of myself.
Our ancestors were not stealing like we do.
And no, but we don't know that for sure.
Okay.
Do you have statistics to prove that?
Anyway, that one is a question.
Yes.
Please leave your comments on the comment place, and we also need your views. And then we want to know why Africa is stealing. Why? He said he is not sure about ancestors whether they were thieves or not, but why
But I
Africa is
think they were
stealing?
better off back then. Modern day
You think
technology.
is apparently better off?
No. Our ancestors, I think they were better off.
So you
Yeah,
justify
I think they were better
you
off.
think it's nice Africa.
Yes, because no, it's not really nice, but I've got to fend for
people are
myself.
stealing budgets, people are stealing money. people are
Yeah,
stealing
everyone
government
tries
funds.
to fend for themselves.
So
So
you accept that it's normal.
I think it's become a norm in our African countries now. So yes.
Thank you very much, and we impressed by your reply.
Okay, thank you.
Why Africa is stealing? The cabinet minister is stealing. The premier and secretary is stealing, and even our African presidents are stealing. So maybe you guys were also thieves. Is there anyone who's stealing here? Tell me, please, why Africa is stealing?
Or say Africa is stealing because they also stole from us and so on. Say
Tell me why Africa is stealing.
Africa is stealing because Namibia is now going through tough times and we need the money and support, but the government is like, they are stealing, like the government is stealing from us, so we have to steal back.
Do you have any reason why Africa is stealing? Why are we stealing?
I think it's based on history, like us having to know that in the olden days the whites used to steal from us, so we are just trying to get back what's ours.
Ah, yes.
Okay, you said people you want to steal from the white. So you guys, sometime you're at school, stealing a pen from a fellow black. That's not a white person. And sometime in the villages, people are even stealing goats, a sheep, a kettles, stealing a live animals. So why Africa is stealing?
It's more about greed also, like you knowing you already have it but you want more. Yeah.
I don't have anything to say, but just what you said.
it's based on the apartheid laws, like in the old days, like they did in history.
It's like if someone is having something nice, the other one will be jealous.
Yeah.
Then you will need it. Then they will steal it.
Then you also want something that you don't have.
Yeah, what he said.
So is there any message you guys want to send to the thieves who are looting Africa?
Check this out, Jens. Telemuti spin me, bro. Last year spin who debit is. Yeah. Spin be uzali is. Yeah.
And that would be Italia when it's lost there would they.
Ashini heti dae chini mi problemium says.
That's the same say. Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope there is no one who's stealing here, and thank you very much. Okay.
People who are stealing animals and other livestock. One, they are youth which are lacking of job, and two, those youth, some of them they have good qualification whereby they're supposed to be working in the government, but they are not given those jobs because they are too corrupt. For those people to be given a job with their qualification, they are not finding a job unless you give something money, which is not right. And whatever is happening like in Africa is under behind some things which we cannot discuss very much because most of people, they are corrupt over, they like something, like you give them money, so that's they can give you a job. Most of people who have qualification, they cannot afford that money to give someone so that he'll be given a job. As a result, those are the people who are stealing animals like goats, sheep and other things. Because of lack of employment and the job is there, it's become difficult. It has become like if you want a job, you need to have a relative who is well connected, which is long because there are some of them, they are educated, they have all qualifications, but they don't have relative who works in government. So it's become difficult for them to survive. As a result, it led them to stealing.
You think our ancestors were a thief? Maybe this is a thing we inherited. Do you think they were a thief or not?
Our ancestors were not thieves. This is just a thing which has just becoming introduced by us who have grown now, because those people from the ancestors, them, they are honest. If they find money on their way, they'll ask whose money is this. But nowadays when you find money, you won't ask anyone. You just get it and eat it without ask. You will find someone, the other farmer is having animals, has gone in someone's farm. That person won't report to say your animal is in my yard. You just keep that animal until you slaughter it, he sells, he get that money, which is not honest because this is not good. We are now no longer honest to each other.
African children are in a school which are donated, while the monies are stolen. Why? Why Africa is stealing?
Yeah, on that one, Africa why is stealing is lack of trusting each other. And the other thing why they are stealing, they are less to work and they feel jealous of other people to be doing fine. So they always make an effort for someone who is doing fine. They will make every situation whereby he can be lose whatever he's having by not supporting that people, but to get what he has managed to find in life.
Africans start even stealing live animals, a sheep, a goats, a cattle. Imagine taking live animal and they steal them and run away with. Africans are stealing. Why?
At the end, you find that Africa, we will not having some park, we will not having some animals, whereby even whites they will start collecting their animals to take them out until we start going there to start watching the thing which we had, because some of the thing will be taken away from us, which is not good. You see, because as Africa we don't encourage each other to work hard, we encourage each other to steal. If you want, you understand on this one. We are youth who are supposed to work hard for our families and for our friends. But me, I can be happy to see you losing what you worked for it and without voice to anyone. And in the law, it has become weak whereby it cannot defend the one who is making mistake. They will defend the one who has made mistake. You understand? Like me, I have a mistake here. People have stolen something from me. I got to report the police. 3-4 days, you find that person is out. It's not well forward, that person, because of something which is wrong. In Africa now, we are not fearing to be arrested because of the weak of the laws which are there. All the laws in Africa, they are weak. They cannot follow you door to door. It will follow you 3-4 days. You find that person is out. Criminals are outside, but innocent people are being arrested. It's true. So Africa is difficult because I believe that whatever happens in Africa is not a normal thing whereby there's someone who is behind those things. So as African, we need to be careful. We need to love each other and to protect each other. And we need to protect our animals and we need to protect our trees. Everyone has to be protected.
The only main reason I think why Africa is failing is because of poverty. Poverty strikes on us Africans, hunger strikes on us Africans, and then we get higher rates of unemployment in Africa. So it's now a matter of survival of the fittest now. Wherever you find a bread or whoever left something there, unguided, it's not even being monitored or something. So I have a right to steal it in order to cater myself where it's possible.
Okay. Do you think our ancestors has been stealing, or why are we stealing? Maybe this thing is something we took from them, or what is your view on this?
So no, our ancestor never steal or stole something, simply because the resources that they had among them were enough. So our population now is a bit high, is now growing up daily. That's why we found ourselves in this situation whereby we don't have enough resources to cater the current population that we have in Africa. The solutions that I can give, or an answer that I can give to this tragic solution of stealing is, so we need to create awareness. So we need to create employment. So we need to give some aid whereby to whoever find yourself like as a fortunate peasant, or at least try to donate to the less fortunate communities and marginalized groups in order for them to at least to be able to survive in these situations of stealings. So then, looking at now the current issue in Africa is so we get corruption is a bit one of the main things that cause people to steal. Cause if I find myself in cabinet, obviously I want to put the whole family in cabinet, which is
Mister. Okay, Mister. Africa is stealing.
Stealing.
Africa is stealing. The cabinet minister is stealing. The premier secretary is stealing.
Oh yes.
Students are stealing. You imagine somebody given a bridge to build. School children are in a school which are donated. Why do people steal the money? African are stealing. What is your view on this?
The government is fucked up. Corruption.
So, what do you think must be done in this case?
They must act up, or otherwise we'll act up. We are done.
Okay, thank you very much. A budget is tabled in Parliament. Meanwhile, some people are thinking how they will steal from budgets. And what is shocking, even weapons are stolen in police and military depots. Africa is stealing. Why? Africa is stealing.